Stop eating so little. If you're anything like me or like what I used to be like, and you're trying to lose weight like this, and you're trying to get lean, and you cut down to some crazy calorie deficit like 1400, 1500 calories, I can almost guarantee you that the majority, or at least a massive portion of that weight, is gonna be muscle mass. And you're gonna feel like shit, and you're gonna be tired, and it's not gonna last. Eating more is actually going to help you lose more weight. I actually got leaner and lost way more weight when I actually increased my calories and went on a more humble calorie deficit. So this video is going to be for the people that think that the best way to lose weight and lose fat is going to be to cut down to like 1400, 1500, 1600 calories, right? To do some crazy aggressive calorie deficit. All right, nobody, at least under medical supervision, without medical approval, should be under 1500 calories. Okay, that's bare minimum, especially for men. So, and this used to be my mindset. All right, so don't feel too bad. But when I was extremely overweight, I would do some crazy stuff like this, like 1400, 1500 calories. And what happens is, yes, the weight is gonna drop. The weight is gonna drop aggressively, but it is not sustainable. You're gonna feel horrible. Your hormones are gonna be out of whack, and it's just not sustainable because you're gonna be hungry. Your energy is gonna be horrible, and it really messes with your body composition. So I drew two scales here, right? And this one, unfortunately, is the one that people care about the most, right? They just want to see the number on the damn scale drop because, that's what they want. Oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. They, more often than not, unfortunately, don't give a shit about what weight they're losing, right? So there's that and there's body composition. Body composition is going to be the ratio of the weight of your body that is fat and the weight of your body that is muscle. So people more often than not don't really care about this scale. They only care about the number on the scale, on the number of their actual weight, right? They just want to see it drop. And being too aggressive on your calories, cutting down to 1400, 1500, I hate to break it to you, but your body is not going to care whether it takes that energy from fat or the muscle on your body because it's so low. You're taking away so much food and your body's like, whoa, what the fuck, bro? Like, chill out. I have no food. So it's ravaging any energy that it can from your body. It's going to make it drop drastically. It's going to lead to a body that is the type called skinny fat, where the fat, you're technically skinny, like you weigh very little, but the fat is overproportionate to the amount of muscle on your body. And you're going to look and feel horrible. So when you cut down to very aggressive calories, when you're eating normally, you have good energy, your performance is good at the gym, and it's all right. You're at your maintenance. But when you cut super aggressively onto that 1400, 1500 calorie mark, not only you're going to have no energy, you're going to be so tired and your performance at the gym is going to plummet. You're going to be lifting way less weight than you normally were and you're not even going to feel like going. You're going to be like groggish and sloppy, right? And when you're cutting that low, sure, you can eat stuff like fiber and make these low calorie recipes, but 1400, 1500 calories, you're going to be starving. All right. You're going to be starving and you're going to be so hungry. And I hate to break it to you, but that is not sustainable. You're going to end up crashing out. It doesn't matter how long you last, right? Unless you're a professional bodybuilder, this kind of stuff is not going to last for really anyone. All right. You're very likely going to last about Monday through Thursday or something. And then come the weekend, you're going to crash out and binge and revert all of your progress. So let's take a look here, right? So somebody cuts down to something extremely aggressive, like 1400. They have no energy. Their performance is going to tank. It's tiny ass little dumbbell over here. And they're extremely hungry. So it's not sustainable. They're just going to crash out and lose everything that they worked for. Their hormones are going to be super out of whack too, because cutting that low, you're going to be fucking with stuff that you shouldn't be fucking with. Like your hormones, your testosterone, your libido, your sex drive is going to be plummeting. Like you're not going to feel normal. You're going to feel sluggish and everything is going to be out of whack. All right. Now, mind you, let's assume that this person here, their maintenance is somewhere around 2100 to 2200 calories. All right. 2200. And let's say they go for a more humble calorie deficit, like 1800 calories, right? They're going to have way more energy. Their performance is not going to tank that much at the gym. They're still going to be lifting heavy and they're going to be fuller. They're going to be more satisfied with the amount of food that they're eating. And what does that lead to? Consistency, because they're not having to fight so hard to stick to their diet, right? And this is unfortunately where most people go wrong. because they think that it's so aggressive and that it's supposed to be super difficult. And yeah, it's not easy per se, but when you start eating so low, it becomes nearly impossible. So when you cut to a humble calorie deficit, you're in 1800, 1700 range, you can be a lot more consistent. You won't fuck up on the weekends and stuff. And you won't be messing with your hormones, your sex drive, your libido, your testosterone. You're not going to be messing too much with your hormones. You're going to feel and perform a lot better, right? And look at this example here. So this guy's maintenance is 2100 calories in a day, right? We're not going to account for protein and other macronutrients for now. So this guy's maintenance is 2100. He starts off obese. We have person A and person B. Person A wants to lose the weight. Like brother, I want to lose 50 pounds by the end of the month. I want to lose 50 pounds in 1-2 months. All right, all right. I guess it's possible. And he's gonna go for 1400 calories. When his maintenance is 2100, it's probably more if he's that overweight. But let's assume. So he's going for a calorie deficit of roughly 700 calories. So he lasts for 4 days. Let's assume this is Monday through Thursday, and this dude is starving. He's throughout the week. He's made a calorie deficit of around eight. What is that? What 1800 calories, 700, so 2800. He's in a calorie deficit about 2800. And then comes the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he completely crashes out, right? He is super hungry, and then he goes to the party with his friends, he goes out to the club, whatever, he has family over. Fuck it, what's one day? Fuck it, what's 2 days? Fuck it, what's 3 days? And before you know it, the scale is back to where it was. He's made no progress, and then he just goes back on the cycle. He gives up. And then you have person B. Person B is a genius, and he decides that I am not going to do some crazy stuff. I am going to do a humble calorie deficit. I'm going to stick to 1700, which is roughly 400 calories below his maintenance. And he's going to be able to eat more. He's going to feel good at the gym. And, he's making sure that a lot of it is protein, but, we're not going to count for that for now. And he doesn't mess up on the weekends because he still has 1700 calories to work with each day on the weekends. He's not starving, It's not easy, but he's not starving. He's not about to die. And he ends up great. He ends up losing weight over the course of a couple months. He's going to make way more progress than this guy has because he's consistent. Consistency is always going to be the most important thing. All right? Always. Always. Because if you fall, you're just going to get back up. But something like this top cycle, it's never sustainable. Sustainability is always going to be something extremely important because it's going to mess with the ability to make consistent progress, right? So before I leave off here, just real quick, 4 quick checklists, all right? A checklist of 4 really quick things. If you want to lose weight, make sure you're in a calorie deficit, right? Eat heavy. Lift heavy, not eat heavy. Lift heavy. Lift heavy. Do resistance training, lift those weights, pick up the weights. Make sure you're in a high protein diet, roughly 1 gram per pound of body weight. I have another video about that. And be in a moderate deficit, right? Be humble with your calories. Like, you are not going to lose 1,000,000 pounds in a month. Be moderate. That way you can stay consistent. You won't starve yourself. You won't die. And you will make consistent progress. I promise. Especially on 1700, 1800 calories. You will. And ultimately and obviously be patient because they don't come overnight, right? I used to be 230 pounds, nearly. I'm around 160, 165 now, and with a lot more muscle. So, I mean, I did lose a lot more than, the 70-ish pounds of fat, right? Because a lot of it is muscle now, but be patient. The results will come, and doing drastic things leads to not drastic results, right? Because it's going to plummet the scale, right? And it eventually will end up going back up because you're going to crash out, you're going to be hungry, and it is not sustainable. If you have any questions or doubts or feedback, any criticism, anything like that, leave it in the comments. And please subscribe so I can make more content like this and keep you guys informed. Subscribe to Enzo Focus Fitness.